For the next 3 weeks, we're going to do something unique. We've done it in other Bible studies, but not in this series of studies. It's called the Discovery Bible Study Method. And what we're going to do is teach you a simple method. You could do it on your own. You could do it with your groups. Maybe this will land so well with your group that you'll want to continue with it. It's a way of opening up God's Word. It doesn't require a bunch of study or knowledge or Bible college background. It just requires you to pay attention to what God's Word is saying to you as a group and then how to apply it. So we're going to take these next 3 weeks, which will all be guest speakers on the weekend, and follow up with a study here that is designated as the Sermon on the Mount. Sermon on the Mount is the most important speech ever given in human history without a close second. And it happens to be 3 chapters. So for those reasons, we've chosen this text for these 3 weeks. And each week, I'm going to give you a kind of an introduction that will be a bird's eye overview of the passage to open it up to you to make discoveries about the Bible. Fair enough? Okay. So in order to introduce really the Sermon on the Mount, we're going to start in your study with verse 21. Why? Because that's when the sermon actually begins. The rest is introduction, and it's time for an irrelevant story. A true fact. In my college career, I got 1 B. It was a B plus, actually, but it was 1 B. You want to guess what class it was in? It was homiletics, which is the art of preaching. That's right, your teaching pastor got his lowest grade ever in this class. And the reason was, I would always give a double introduction. The one introduction was kind of the historical background of the text. Imagine me giving a double introduction through history. Yeah, right. The other introduction was to the text itself. I still do that. And the professor objected, you can only have 1 introduction. My reaction, not only to the grade, but to his idea was, well, you understand that the Sermon on the Mount has 3 introductions, not 1. And his response to me was, you're not Jesus. Well, point taken. But Jesus' introduction to the Sermon on the Mount is this beatitude, super interesting. There's 8 kind of contrasts. That you have, blessed is the one who. And the contrast, these are normal statements. Like blessed is, you think, well, blessed are the rich or blessed are the powerful. No. It's counterintuitive. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are those who mourn. Here's something fascinating. Every one of these 8 Beatitudes can be found somewhere else in Jewish literature, either in the Bible or outside the Bible. But it wasn't the dominant thinking. So Jesus took 8 minor strands of counterintuitive thinking and stacked them on top of one another. So it's kind of this machine gun fire of shock and awe of this is not the way life is supposed to work. And then he says, you are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. That's introduction number 2. And then he goes on to say that you've heard that it was said that you have to fulfill the law. Well, I tell you, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees and teachers of the law, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. Well, who can do that? Because the Pharisees and teachers of the law, you know how much they tithed? Even off their herbs in the garden. But pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. Next one goes to God. It was meticulous, maybe even ridiculous. You know how much they prayed? 3 times a day. Not at 3 meals, but 3 devotional times of prayer. You know how much they fasted? Twice a week. I'm not that meticulous in my righteousness, so how can I possibly go to heaven? Because this is so critical. Jesus is not teaching us that your righteousness has to be broader than the Pharisees, but deeper. That your righteousness is not merely in what you do, it's the heart out of which your behavior comes. And so for the rest of the chapter, he's going to give 6 counterintuitive examples of how deeper righteousness actually works. And that is something worth talking about.